Dany is about as stable as the cabinets when they start sailing. Chef is too worried about his money to make lunch for the guests. And Davide nearly drops his tenders on Captain's face.
I'm Brad.
I'm Lane, and welcome to Below Deck Experts. As you can see, it's me and Brad today.
Hey, guys.
My sister died. I'm kidding. She's playing, what is she playing, drag bingo?
Yes, drag bingo.
About 30 feet that way.
Yeah.
So if you miss her, blame her in the comments. Just kidding. She gets enough of that in the comments. Mm-hmm. Today, the four, what do we say, topics? Topics of the day. 4 topics of the day are dinner with Daisy and Gary arguing, / chef complaining about paying, Dany breaking down after her conversation with Daisy, the whole dinner debacle, and the Floatopia incident of 2024. Do you want to do your question of the day first?
Yeah. And it's, I have 3 questions of the day. So, but one's a 2-part question and the other one is a separate question. So I'll go with my first one.
All right, hit me with it.
So I observed during this one that it seems like the preference sheets for this charter were like super detailed. Like we want this, and this. So my question is, would you rather have as a crew / deck member, an employee of the boat, would you rather have a really planned preference sheet, or would you rather have to be more creative and come up with things for them to do?
I think I'd rather have. That is such a good question, because if they tell you exactly what they want, you can give them what they want. But if they don't tell you anything, there's a chance they're just not going to like it, and it's your fault because they didn't, they just didn't like it at the end of the day.
You also run the risk of not meeting their expectations. Like they pictured something differently in their mind.
Yeah.
And then you just bomb it.
I know, that's like not telling anyone what you want for Christmas. Like, unless you get like a new house or a car, you're going to be somewhat disappointed.
Yeah. Or what if like the preference sheet wasn't that, like, we want a big ass fan, and you're like, okay. And then you brought something that's a big ass fan. They're like, no, we wanted a big ass fan.
Grammar. That was a grammar joke. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on the guests too. Like, if these guests had a really like blank preference sheet, I think they would have been fine. They seem pretty chill.
Yeah.
As people, but their preference sheet was crazy. I don't know. I always tend to want to be more creative, but I could see how that would be a downfall if they had high expectations and gave you nothing to go off of.
Yeah.
What about you?
Shit. I think that, I'm married to Morgan, so it would be planned. My opinion doesn't matter. It does. She would ask me, but she's a planner.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That is
Second
a good point.
part. How would you rather have it as a guest?
I think I would keep my preference sheet pretty plain. I think we've talked about it multiple times. I just don't like avocado. I would put that on there, and then I would say keep it somewhat like local stuff.
Yeah, because I don't want to, like, if I'm going to the Med,
Yeah.
I don't want to eat Chinese food.
Yeah, I don't want like a steak or a burger, and I'm sure they'd be amazing, but I want stuff I can't get where I am right now.
With you, 100%.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's a different subject.
Yeah, we could go into beef.
I'll save my other question for later because it pertains to something that happens later on.
Cool. Works for me.
Got peanut hair on my iPad. Rat bastard.
The cat.
The cat.
What do you think of Emma's attitude this episode?
So she's like super sensitive.
Emma, not
Well, see, herein lies a problem, Finn. I only watched the episode today.
That's fine.
Morgan was back, and I was like, I'm good.
Emma is the
wait, no, she's on the
deckhand.
crew. Yeah.
Deckhand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she has like this lackadaisical attitude, and I have this.
That's so weird. My next part of the question is, why do you think she was so lackadaisical?
Really?
I swear to God, on the top line.
I can't read. I have to draw pictures on mine. No, so
That thing's not even on.
it's not even on. Pulling a Captain Sandy. Not actually talking to anybody.
Deep cut.
No, but I have right here, and you can read it if you like. Emma really isn't getting it. She's like the Brie of sailing yacht deck crew. That's the vibe I get.
Yeah, where it's just like, get up and do something, you know?
I think she wants to do well. I think she's just super inexperienced.
Yeah.
She can't drive a boat for shit.
No. Yeah, we learned that at this episode.
Well, more on that later. But yeah, it's weird. And I've only seen her for this episode. This is what, the third charter?
Yeah.
Yeah, third charter.
Is it third? No, I think it's the second.
Is it the second? So the first one may have just been them. Like I said, I didn't watch 1 and 2. I caught up today.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think she's got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And she's really green. And she's not paying attention to the finer details. That shows later when Gary tells her to do something and he's like, I told you to do this. And she didn't.
Yeah. I think the other thing too is she does kind of talk about her like previous jobs, and most of them are very independent, like real estate agent, personal trainer,
EMT too, right?
Yeah, EMT. That one is a little more of a team effort, but still kind of independent.
It is called paramedic.
Yeah.
2 medics.
Yeah, true. But it's not like a whole, operation, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, I didn't have any notes on that, so I thought I'd throw it into my question.
Oh, that's a good question.
Let's see. So we start the episode with Daisy and Gary arguing back and forth, having the same argument that they've had for
3 seasons?
3 or 4 seasons, yeah. And it's just, and even Daisy says it. She's like, yeah, we're just in this cycle of he is an asshole, and then I get mad at him, I confront him, he backpedals, and then he makes me feel better about it. And then she makes the joke like, I need a therapist to break this cycle. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the same old broken record with those two. And I was surprised when it came on because I know we had talked, previously. I'm like, I wonder what they're going to do with Gary. I wonder if they're going to like hide him. Nope.
No, I wish they would have.
Right there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's not. It doesn't seem like he's the main focus, but he's not hidden at all.
No, he's still a critical player in the game,
which sucks.
Yeah, same old. She did say though, she did mention to him on the night out, I'm done. If you I'm gonna throw you under the bus. If you keep screwing me over,
yeah,
I'm just gonna let you have it.
Yeah, she basically said you're either on my team or you're not, and yeah, I don't know. It's going to be the same thing the whole season, but hopefully the editors or someone got tired of it and they focus on some other shit.
I hope so, because I can't redo last season with the
it's just the same shit
broken record over and over again. Yeah, no thanks.
And then that same dinner, Chef throws on a whole big thing about not wanting to pay for other people's drinks, and I don't like drinking my money. That doesn't sound fun to me. Mm-hmm. What did you think of that? Do you think it was kind of like an immaturity thing or kind of like a stuck-up thing?
He's a weird dude.
He's a weird guy.
It's like I don't know. I'm trying to remember the Chef he reminds me of a little bit, but I can't remember. I can't remember the episode or the seasons like these guys can, but I get like an entitlement vibe.
A little bit, yeah.
And then was it him? They were talking about I'm paying all the bills and something about a house. I'm like, what, dude?
Yeah, he said he's like I'm putting the down payment down on the house for my family. I can't be paying for this shit. And Daisy's like, we just made $1,200. Relax.
Yeah, he could have just been like, what? No.
Yeah,
he could have just said no.
Yeah, or just. Even he was doing the whole thing with put this on this bill, put this on the other bill, just be give me my bill.
Exactly. And then he's like, well, can I pay for 2 of the bottles and then split the rest?
Yeah.
And I was like, who cares, dude?
If you're that worried about it, just pay for what you had. Well,
and those things tend to come around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? in a setting, you're going to go out with the same people multiple times. Like, it kind of works itself out.
Yeah, it always does seem to work. Like, it's almost like you feel like you owe the person, you haven't gotten it in a while, you get it that time.
Exactly.
And it just goes back and forth. And, you can sit there and, count every penny, but I don't know. I don't think a lot of people care enough to do that. Let's see. What else happened? What happened next? The bill. They get back to the boat. Chef's a little butthurt, and him and Gary have some bro time.
I do have right here, though. Prior to that, I'm like, Captain Glenn and I are the same person.
Why?
He's laying in bed like this with his iPad. He's like,
yeah.
And it's like it's a thing about sailing, and then like something about a boat. So he's like, oh yeah, like yeah, we're the same fucking person, dude.
I think Dee said that a few times this season already.
Yeah, us OGs, they have iPads with the keyboard. Occasionally, I'm like karate chop yourself in the Adam's apple with it. He's like, oh fuck.
He is every time. He's just sitting there like this.
Yep. See, I'm an OG though, because that's why I got a keyboard, because I can lay it on my chest and I can just like put my hands down.
You got it all figured out over
Occasionally though, it'll like slide. It'll like go off the side. And you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna catch it before it falls off the bed.
See, that's better than like me. I'll lay on my back with my phone. And I'll just drop it on my face.
Dude, you ever got a fat lip? Because
I have.
Like, it hits you in the tooth.
Yeah, and you're like, oh. You're like, is my tooth still in there? Like, is it loose? Yeah, I've done that multiple times. I can't do that with this phone now. It's twice as big as my last one.
Yeah, dude, that thing's gonna bloody your nose if you drop it.
It's gonna fucking hurt.
Are you a victim of domestic violence? No, I fucking dropped my phone.
Dropped my stupid fucking phone on my head. Yeah, so Gary and Chef have a little bro time. They're drinking wine and bad horse to back, Chef.
Yeah, and they're struggling to pop the bottle of wine open. And I'm like, yeah, we've been there.
Yeah.
But it's like, the other thing about it too, like, I thought about this though. I'm like, how good of a time, like drunk snacks with a chef?
Yeah. You
that
get
would
on
be
his
fire.
good side.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, hook it up.
Yeah.
I'm in.
There's been a few like past seasons where like a stew or like someone will like buddy up to the chef to get good food after nights out. And it like works for a while, and then the chef's like, wait, she doesn't want to sleep with me. She just wants my food. It's like, no shit.
It slowly recedes from like filet mignon to fucking peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
This isn't going anywhere.
Shit. Gotta get in the shower with him.
Oh, the other thing I have too is the guy climbing in his bunk buck ass naked.
Oh my God.
I'm like, come on, bro.
Put some underwear on.
Yeah, dude. Like thank God they blurred it, because we would have seen
just full bat wing.
Yeah, it would have been bad, dude. It would have been bad. Whole fruit basket right there.
Full bat. Just oh God, I would hate that. Like not like he obviously didn't touch Captain.
Right.
But like to wave over him.
You know what? Right? Have you seen
Waiting?
Well, there's Waiting.
Yeah.
The goat.
The goat.
I got a funny. Well, it was the brain technically.
Yeah.
I can't tell that story here though. I mean, it would hit, but I had a dead guy give me the brain once.
Oh, you've told me this story.
But
it does
anyway,
not below.
It's not below deck. It does not.
It's a good story.
But have you seen the newest chips with Dak Shepard and the guy from Shooter? I can't remember his name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but no, I haven't seen it.
So if that guy would have fallen while he's trying to get in his bunk, buck ass naked, it would have been. There's a part where Dak Shepard is carrying him because he's like, his legs don't work. Or no, it's one of the ways around. I don't remember who's carrying who, but he's buck naked and he's carrying him like this, and he slips and falls and hits him in the face. That's all I thought about, and it made me laugh.
Yeah. Oh man, I would not be happy if I was Captain Glenn. I don't even care if it didn't touch me.
Like, dude, we're boxers or something, or basketball shorts, something like.
Yeah, like you just showed your whole butthole to a camera.
I'm glad I'm not the editor.
I know. Like, I would take a lot of editing jobs. I would not take that editing job. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, Dany's complaining about having to do the cabins.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, they've made a point to say, like, yeah, serving is a lot easier, a lot better than doing cabins, cleaning up shit.
Do you think it's the lack of human interaction when you're doing cabins?
Probably. I mean, yeah, at least for me, like human interaction makes time go by quicker. I mean, you're making drinks and people are telling you like, "Oh, you're so pretty," like just different shit like that.
I hear that all the time.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. But like when you're down there scrubbing shit around no one, it's a lot. Yeah. Wouldn't be as
Sometimes
fun.
that's like welcoming though. You're like, I can't put up with your shit today. Like, I would rather be by myself.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it both ways, but the other thing that I thought of, but then immediately realized it wasn't the case, like, oh, you get more tips when you serve, but it's the same
They all
shit.
get the same tip.
Everyone gets the same tip. Like, I don't know. Dany is just kind of all over the place, it seems like.
Yeah, and I also have here like Daisy's like, yeah, you're gonna need to get over that.
Yeah.
Like and she's right. Like,
Yeah.
I need you to do what I need you to do.
Yeah. And Daisy was like, yeah, there's 3 of us and I don't go down there, so you guys got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, she's a leader, and if she wants that to work that way, then it works that way.
Well, and isn't Dany the like lowest ranking stew on the boat?
So I think she has the least experience, but they didn't do like first and second stew this season. But yeah, I want to say Diana has more experience than her.
Okay.
But I mean, it's worked out so far where they're not like fighting over roles or anything.
Well, it seems like that's kind of coming though, because there's a part where like Diana in the preview, for next episode,
coming up on or whatever. Yeah,
and then the next thing was the boat driving lessons with Gary.
Yeah, that was just reminded me of like trying to teach someone stick shift.
Yeah, and it's for those of you that have never driven a boat, like it is not the same as a car.
No,
the response is not there. Sometimes you have to steer with the throttle. Like,
yeah, it's like driving a car if your car floated.
Yeah. It didn't have any brakes.
It didn't have any brakes. And you're on the water.
Yeah. So it's a lot more like driving a boat is a lot more like it requires a lot more pre-thought.
Yeah.
Like, and not only that, there are certain things that can be a royal pain in the ass when you're in a boat. Current, wind, all of those things are a problem. Because sometimes you're like, well, the current's going this way, but the wind's coming from this way, and you don't want it to push you sideways into something, because that happens. Especially like us when we're on the river, it's even worse with the current.
Yeah, that one time that we were coming back and it started storming really, really hard.
Fuck, dude.
That was stupid.
Yeah, that was square peg round hole, and we made it fit.
Yeah, we long story short, we brought the boat back just as it started like storming like crazy.
Yeah.
And we had to pull into the dock. I had to like jump over the side of the boat onto the dock, almost fell in, but I didn't. And I was the hero of the day, if you ask anybody. I'm kidding.
None of us got wet. That was the important part.
None of us went in the water.
Logan's hat got wet, though.
Yep, he lost a hat. But then he found another one.
Yeah, that was funny.
So yeah, they start sailing, a bunch of shit falls over, and Diana is like, fix the fucking cabin if you're gonna fucking sail. I'm like,
it's fair.
Not wrong.
Well, that brings me to a few things. So that other question of the day I had. Mm-hmm. Do you think they allocate a budget for the amount of shit that gets broken when they put the sails up?
I think so.
Like, look, we're going to need $3,000 just for like broken liquor bottles and stuff that's going to go crashing down when we put the sails up.
Yeah. And to even add to that, I think a normal sailboat would budget like $1,000. They budget more because they love the clips of shit going everywhere and everyone freaking out.
Well, not only that, like they're leaning over and like Chef looks out the window. He's like, we're underwater.
Yeah.
Because they were leaning hard.
Yeah, they were. And yeah, for it to happen every single time they sail, there's no way it's not at least a little bit on purpose.
Yeah. Well, I have here, sails are going up and they were told to stow everything. I wonder what that checklist looks like. I think they missed some boxes on that checklist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and she did slide. She said she slid the cabinet closed.
Yeah.
Like, put a latch on there.
Yeah, and I can't remember exactly the problem with it. They covered it in another episode, but it's
it's almost like it's almost like a barn door style, I think, where it slides instead of opens like this.
Yeah.
So when they must have, I don't know if the boat was doing, like this, as it's going through the surf.
and it might have like shook it open.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
it just kind of like rattled it open. I have no idea.
I don't know. I know a lot of the cabinets are like a normal cabinet, but there's a hole through all of them, and you put like a stick through them. Those make sense, but yeah, the barn door one, I think they said it was broken or
Well, and Daisy
fixed.
even said like that doesn't normally happen.
Yeah,
So it might have just been the boat shook just right.
or it could have been a producer that walked over and just went.
He's like, that or he looks around and he's like.
Can you imagine? Just a producer looking around, no one's here. Just whips a bottle of champagne.
Captain's gun like, oh, I heard something shift around.
The producer just runs to the other side.
Eating bottles across.
No, I want that job.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Like one of those anger rooms.
Yeah.
You pay money and you can go in and just break shit for like a half an hour.
I think the next thing is the whole tacky incident. Is that what you have next?
I have Keith and Dany. What's going on there?
Oh yeah, the whole. I don't know. I'm trying to buy into it, but the last episode, she got dropped off at this like resort thing with the guests, and she starts talking to this guy and like flirting with him, blah blah blah, and then Keith comes to like relieve them. And she's like, "Oh, Keith, meet my boyfriend, blah, blah, blah." And like, I'm like, I just don't care when this girl's running around talking to everybody. And then she's like, "I just don't know why he doesn't like me."
Yeah, I can see how that'd be off-putting.
Yeah. But yeah, she's kind of into Keith. Keith's kind of into her. It's the whole big thing that's probably going to be nothing.
Probably not.
Probably not.
It seems like there's some kind of an attraction there.
There's something there. And I think Keith it seems like a very quiet guy, but not like he doesn't have her fully figured out.
Yeah.
So he probably will fall for some stuff like, oh, she does actually like me. And then 10 minutes later, she's talking to another guy. I don't know. I'm just looking at her track record.
Time will tell. So you mentioned something tacky. I went from Keith and Dany to an issue with the tender. So I must have missed what you have.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit later. Emma drives the tender, blah blah blah. Shit falls, tacky incident. So basically, Daisy has Dany decorate the table.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah,
Yep.
and she's like, make it tacky.
Yeah.
And because they're American, she's like, oh, they like everything to be big and boisterous and over the top. And at first, Danny's like, okay, got it. And then a little bit later, she like starts crying because she's like, I just don't want anything I do to be considered tacky.
Yeah, and I was like, I wasn't really picking. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I could not really grasp what was going on.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out why she was upset.
I know.
I feel, did she think that Daisy was saying what she did was tacky?
I think, but it didn't make any sense because Daisy literally before anything said, yeah, make it tacky.
Right.
So like maybe she took it as like, you know how to make it tacky. You know how to be tacky, I guess.
Yeah, it was weird. And I was like, that's why I'm like, she's a little sensitive to.
Yeah, just very oversensitive. And then Daisy was just like, forget I said anything. Make it over the top.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't be breaking down on the second charter.
Well, and they snapped to like a image of it and like it looked fine.
Yeah.
And like she did good. Like, what's the issue?
Yeah, so. And then she goes into a whole thing about how like I did art in high school and, people made fun of me because I'd never used art in my life. And I'm like...
I did art in high school. Okay. It's fucking required.
Yeah.
I'm good at it.
Like, I did stuff in high school and college, and I don't cry.
We're not talking about that stuff.
Fair. Anyways. Yeah, and then next is
I did want to say, if you guys have a better opinion about why Dany was so upset, put it in the comments, because we're curious about it.
Yeah, because I watched it twice, and I still don't fully understand it. If you have a different angle on it that you understand, let us know. But yeah, the next thing is the tender smacking up against the boat.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's not as bad as hitting a rock with a tender.
Yeah, dumbass.
I just saw that in the at the very beginning. It's like previously on Below Deck Experts, Gary just crushes a rock, and I'm like, oh shit.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, well,
yeah.
you're not fixing that one with duct tape.
No, he didn't fuck it up too bad, but it did start it was bubbling and
It's taking on some water.
a little bit, yeah. But
Probably nothing the bilge pump couldn't keep up with.
I think that's what it came down to. But yeah, I guess Emma didn't tie up the tender right, and she was just sitting there fucking around, and the tender was just smacking up against the boat.
Well, that's kind of the thing. Gary's point too. Like you could hear it.
Yeah.
Like this is a problem. Like maybe you hear something banging into the side of a however many $1 million yacht.
Yeah.
And you're like, that shouldn't be happening.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you know that tender's like $200,000?
Holy shit!
Right? Yeah, it's
Well.
insane. And then, do you have anything before dinner?
No.
All right, so I have dinner, and what I've been doing lately is not covering everything. I just kind of pick one thing that's a little unique and research it a little bit. So I picked the the saffron risotto paella style is how chef says it. It's seafood paella, and paella is essentially a bunch of different foods and flavors mixed together. That gives you what he did was a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of seafood, and apparently the saffron that's added in is actually very common due to it adding a very distinct floral flavor and vibrant color. And I thought it was kind of similar to how we add vinegar to buffalo sauce.
Oh yeah.
Kind of gives it that extra pop.
The acidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's dinner.
I mean, I would have ate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have fucked some of that stuff up.
It looked really good.
It did. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with Chef. He makes really good food. It's just everything else that's off the wall.
Yeah, but that's kind of the track record, isn't it? You don't get both. You
You
never
don't.
get both.
You don't. You either get a really, really nice and tame chef and his
Yep.
food kind of sucks, or you get a fucking weirdo that makes really good food.
Yeah. I was gonna say, well, there was Jack, but he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Jack. I like Chef Jack, but
I do. I did. Yeah. He ended up getting fired, right?
he might have. I remember that was that a med season? He was
That-
in? Or right on normal Below Deck?
That was Down Under, I believe. I think that was our first season.
Was it?
I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong. They all merged together. Let's see what else.
Well, the next thing was with
whole-
dinner was the miscommunication with dessert.
Yeah, what'd you think about that?
I don't know. It's it's similar to what happens later. Well, you said clearing, we were good to go. Leave. Fuck you mean?
Yeah.
No, we're clearing the table, get the dessert ready. They are not on the same page with what things mean.
Yeah.
So I feel like that should have been hammered out beforehand.
Yeah, or on the first charter at least. Yeah.
As a chief stew, I'd sit down with the chef and be like, look, if you want me to say fucking unicorn
Yeah.
when it's time for dessert, I'll say unicorn. But I just need to know what you need me to tell you when we're ready.
Yeah. And I don't know. I was on Daisy's side, but the way she defended herself, I'm like, that doesn't make sense either. Which I guess it kind of does now that I hear your explanation. She was like, yeah, communication works both ways. You could have asked me.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's the guests were sitting there. The one guest was basically I'm ready to go lay down.
Yeah.
I want to know how long they actually sat there.
I think it was there was a little timer at the bottom. I think it was 20, 25 minutes.
Okay, because I know the desserts that Daisy or someone had said they take 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then what kicked my OCD was the second tray he slid on the bottom.
I know.
Skew, and I was like,
I noticed that too. I'm like, I don't care how much of in a hurry I am.
yeah, you got to fix that.
You gotta fucking fix that.
Yeah, I can't.
It's not right. Something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, my luck, like one of them would have burned.
Yeah. I mean, I was even thinking, I'm like, the left side's going to be a little hotter than the right, but I'm like, it probably doesn't matter, but still.
It's an oven. It's not like it was a pan, but still it's like, I don't know, or everything would have ran to one side or something like that would have been my luck. Or it would have just fallen and then everything's screwed.
Yeah. Do you, yeah, they had, what, bread pudding?
Yeah. And the one guess is like, that's the breast.
Those are breasts.
Whoa. The one guest did say her breasts were getting bigger as she aged. So
yeah.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Didn't need to hear that.
Well, it is what it is. But no, she said it was the best bread pudding she's ever had.
Yeah. And
she's been eating bread pudding for 60 years.
Yeah, that's what she said. That's funny. Have you ever had it or made it or anything?
Yeah, I think so, but it's never been something where I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta have that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It just doesn't sound appealing.
But then I also thought to myself, I'm like, I've never put ice cream on it. Maybe that's what ties the whole thing together.
Yeah, it probably does.
Because like, you ever put ice cream on like
anything?
Well, there's that. There's that. But like on a brownie or like, oh fuck me up.
Yeah, one time when I was living with Squints, he was super high, and I just got a brownie, microwaved it for a bit, put ice cream on it, and he ate it and was like almost in tears. I'm like, dude,
so good, he was crying.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm like, Braden,
seen that shit.
I'm like, Braden, you're just really high. It's not that good. But yeah. Anyways.
Well, if he ever hits squanch mode, we'll give him a fucking brownie with some ice cream.
Yeah, and then we have Cloyce dicking around with the guests.
Oh yeah, that's when they did the Oasis thing, right?
Yeah.
I had two things before that.
Oh yeah, hit me.
The breakfast
that
morning.
It was
like eggs Benedict is what it looked like.
Eggs Benedict, some potatoes. Yeah. I saw some fruit. Yeah, it looked good.
That was literally my ideal breakfast.
Yeah.
I love eggs Benedict.
I know. I was thinking about your eggs Benedict the other day.
Oh yeah, I forgot I made that one year.
Yeah,
that shit was good.
It was so good, and I remember you made the sauce,
the hollandaise sauce,
and I was trying to be helpful because I think we were both cooking, but I think I was done, and I was like, "Oh, Brad might need this pan again. I'm gonna rinse it."
You're like, no,
and then I was like, I don't know. That doesn't look like it's done. And I put it back. I'm like, Brad, do you need that pan? And you're like, yeah, that's the whole sauce.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
That's a hollandaise sauce. It's like, that's all my freaking yolks, dude.
Yeah, you spent so much time like getting it perfect and like doing everything the right way. It would have just been perfect if I just rinsed it.
It's such a bitch, too. I can't remember the particular thing about hollandaise sauce. It has something to do with like, you can't get it too hot too fast.
Yeah.
And then... like, and I put like a splash of vinegar in there too, and it gives it that like zippiness.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you were putting the eggs in the water, the poached eggs in the water with a coffee mug, and you had everything figured out.
Like stir it creates a vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay taught me that.
Fuck poached eggs.
Yeah, they suck ass. He didn't personally teach me that. I saw it on YouTube. But it'd be Gordon, if you're watching and you'd like to take me under your wing, I'm here.
You can try and change my mind.
Yeah.
Fuck poached eggs.
Poached eggs do suck ass.
Suck ass.
Yeah, but if you get that whirlpool going first.
Oh, I've done it all.
Coffee cup. But
I've never had the patience of a sober man while I was cooking them, so maybe I'll try it again. Who knows? Oh, I'm 71 days sober today.
Yay.
I haven't said anything.
I haven't seen your 60 chip yet. You have to show me that at some point.
Oh, yeah. I did bring my wallet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'll show you after.
It means you can pay me.
I think I have $2 in my wallet right now.
No, that's your, what was it? Your lucky
oh, my
dollar.
Lucky dollar, yeah.
That'll be $5. Well, I only have 7.
I only got 7. Yeah, so the breakfast, and then they want to go somewhere before lunch, and then Cloyce comes out of nowhere, and he's like, hey, I'll help bring stuff down for the guests. So he just leaves the galley, and he's helping them bring shit back and forth, and then he's just dicking around, and lunch was in like, I think 50 minutes after that.
Yeah.
And Captain was like, he's not prepped. Where is he?
Yeah, and he's like, it needs to be ready by like 4.
Yeah.
And the guy, he's out there with the guests, and one of the guests is like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Like the first clue.
Yeah. Yeah, and in that type of service, they shouldn't even say that they're hungry. They should have food before they even think about being hungry. But he's just holding on to Keith on the back of the Sea Bob, just having the time of his life. I'm like, what are you doing? But,
And Captain Glenn was just like flabbergasted. He's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
He's like knocking on his door, and he's like, hey. And he's not even in there.
He's like, he's where? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was helping us set up. Why? Like, that's, yeah.
Yeah, and then Gary, he's like that older sibling that doesn't want to tell on the younger one. He's like, yeah, he's out here. And he's like, well, he should be back here. And he's like, well, I agree.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to describe it, where you're like, I know you're doing wrong, but you might get away with it, but probably not, but I'm not going to be the reason.
Well, you know, Gary's like, fuck it, I'm not your boss. Like,
yeah.
It's whatever.
He's like, you are technically your own boss, and you're fucking up right now. But yeah, so he's pissed, and then the next on, they do end up getting those professional mermaids that Captain Glenn talked about from that like island that they're near.
So is there like an agency for mermaids, do you think?
I would guess so, yeah. I would assume that it's like a hired service.
That's kind of weird.
Kind of like hiring Santa Claus type thing.
How does one become a mermaid? Think about that. Like, so what are we doing? Like, well, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tie your feet together and throw you in the water, and then you're going to swim.
And then you're going to go entertain people on a boat.
On a boat, yeah. Do I get to get on the boat? No.
Yeah, you're going to get into this water that has sharks, and you're going to look like a fish.
With your feet tied together.
With your feet still tied together.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be something like if I was on the boat, I'd be like, yeah, let's see how they do. Let's see what they're doing.
Are they yelling for help?
I'm not paying you if I have to help you out of the water.
No. Matter of fact, you should pay me.
You should really pay me.
Rescue fee.
I don't have good knees. And I had to lift your ass out of there. So yeah, they get the professional mermaids. And then Dany, Diane, and Emma seem like they're all fighting with each other about like Emma was telling Diane, I think, is it Diane or Diana? I don't know. I'm going to get roasted.
It might be Diana.
Yeah, either way. You guys know what I'm
I don't know
talking
who
about.
the fuck is who, so.
Yeah, I should really be the one telling you. Don't yell at me in the comments.
Yell at him in the comments.
Fuck. But yeah, Emma, after this episode where she did fucking nothing, is like making fun of Diana, like, oh, you go around doing nothing and complain about it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah, and now, granted, I've only seen episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, it seems like she kind of keeps to herself.
Yeah. And that was just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because she really, I mean, she's kind of quirky in her interviews or whatever, but other than that, she hasn't really made a fuss.
Yeah.
So,
but on things to come.
Things to come.
It was kind of, it looks like, because she's like, why do I have to go? Like, she's told, like, Daisy's like, I need you to go down and do what the fuck are they called? The rooms.
Cabins.
Yeah.
Cabins. Yeah.
I need you to go down and do cabins. And she's like, why am I doing cabins?
Yeah. It's like, because it's your fucking job.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm your boss. I just fucking told you to. But
yeah.
Other than that, I can't think of a good reason.
It's like, well, if you want to continue to be paid, you should probably do it.
Yeah, and maybe, who knows? We'll see when the episode unfolds. Maybe there's like something that happens and maybe Daisy changes something at the last minute. Like maybe she was supposed to do something else. That's the thing about the edit. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. It's usually nothing. Like 9 times out of 10, it's like, what's going to happen? And then next week it's like 9 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that happened. But
yeah.
Yeah. You got anything else or you want to do the bingo cards?
Oh yeah, the bingo cards.
Can you reach them?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if I can. So yeah, you can use Dee Dee's. I'll look at mine.
Which one is whose? That's yours.
Yeah.
She should label them at the top.
You think?
This one literally says Morgan's bingo card, and that one says Lane's bingo card.
No toga party, no puke in the hot
Do you have a highlighter? Because I sure as shit don't.
I do not.
I can see a pink one on Morgan's desk right there.
That's all right. We'll just talk about it. We'll do it later.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, I wish I could take Captain's bunkmate drop something on him.
That dick.
Oh man. I don't think I got anything. Do you have anything?
I'm scanning. This one's borderline.
Which one is it?
Crew gets unprofessional with guests. I don't know as though it qualifies.
That's a close one.
But it was close with Chef.
It was. I think we'll have to see what all happens next week, but I think that one's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
I don't know if it qualifies though.
Yeah, let us know if you think that would qualify. Yeah, I got nothing. I think. Well, could I take outrageous move by Chef?
That's borderline too.
That's borderline too. If she's taking that one, I'm taking this one.
Crew forgets supplies for excursion. Yeah, the fucking Chef.
That was good. You're a fucking Chef.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other ones on here that have.
Damn, I almost got the auto win. Someone falls asleep during a meal at the table.
Oh, yeah, that one's on here, too.
That would have been great.
Oh, wait. Maybe it's not. Someone loses their radio.
Oh, that could definitely happen.
Auto win. Completely sober charter. So that one has not happened.
Yeah.
Because even the one guest, she's like hammering mimosas at breakfast. And she's like, oh. She's like, I'm kind of buzzed.
Well, that's all we got for this episode of Below Deck Experts. Thanks for listening, and drop some comments below on what you thought of the episode. We kind of threw it together, but I think it came out pretty well.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and hit that alarm bell.
Hit the alarm bell. Punch your phone. Don't drop it on your face.
No, you get a fat lip. It's a good song.
It is a good song.
Psalm 41.
Oh, wait, no, that's not it. That's lit.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Your own worst enemy?
Yeah.
Well, you would be if you give yourself a fat lip and drop your phone on your face.
That too. Anyways, we'll see you next week, guys.
Next week. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.